Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're tackling something absolutely critical if you're launching a new therapy practice, PT, OT, SLP. This is for you.
We're talking about Medicare enrollment. It sounds dry, maybe, but get this wrong.
And you don't get paid. Simple as that. It's the absolute foundation. No enrollment, no billing, no revenue from Medicare patients.
Exactly. This isn't just red tape. It's essential plumbing for your clinic's finances.
So our mission today is to cut through the complexity. There are basically two ways to get enrolled.
You've got PECOS?
Right, PECOS. That's the Provider Enrollment Chain and Ownership System. It's CMS's online portal.
The digital path.
And then there's the, let's call it the old school way, paper enrollment, mailing in those CMS 855 forms to your MSC, your Medicare Administrative Contractor.
We're a big stack of paper.
Yeah.
CMS 855I for you, 855B for the clinic.
Yeah.
It gets complicated.
And CMS keeps saying one is faster, much faster. We need to understand why. What makes PECOS supposedly the better choice? And maybe more importantly, what are the hidden dangers of sticking with paper?
That's the key question, isn't it? It's not just about speed, it's about risk. Especially for a new clinic, where cash flow is everything. Failing enrollment means zero Medicare income.
Okay, let's unpack PECOS first. For anyone maybe still thinking about paper, what's PECOS actually do? What's the point of this online system?
Well, PECOS aims to be your one-stop shop for enrollment. You log in securely using login.gov now, and you can enroll, you can update your info, revalidate later on, upload documents.
And track everything.
And track the status, yes. It's meant to replace all that back-and-forth mailing, the potential for lost documents, the phone tag. It's about efficiency and cutting down errors.
But paper is still an option. You can still download those 855 forms, the 855I for individuals, 855B for groups, even the 855R to link them. Why keep the paper path if PECOS is so much better?
That's a fair point. I think it mostly exists now for accessibility reasons. Maybe, someone has truly limited internet access, or perhaps a really unusual, complex organizational setup.
Edge cases, basically.
Pretty much. But CMS isn't exactly promoting paper. All the guidance points towards PECOS, because paper misses those automated checks, those validations that prevent simple mistakes from causing huge delays.
And getting it right is non-negotiable, right? I know the professional associations, like for PTs and SLPs, they always stress getting your NPI sorted and deciding on participation status during enrollment.
Absolutely critical. And PECOS helps manage that. It syncs things up, verifies info in ways paper just can't. It checks against the NPI registry, for example.
Okay, this is where I think it gets really practical. Let's talk concrete advantages. CMS says PECOS tends to process faster. Oversight bodies like the GAO have looked into this too. What specifically breaks with paper that PECOS fixes?
Speed is the headline, yeah. Just cutting out mail time, sending the application, getting responses back. That alone saves weeks, literal weeks of just waiting for paper to move.
Weeks just for someone at the MA to open the envelope and log it in before they even look at it.
Exactly. But honestly, the bigger deal is probably error prevention. PECOS has built-in checks.
Like what does it check?
Like, if you forget to attach your license copy or you leave a required field blank, the system flags it right there before you submit. It makes you fix it on the spot.
Okay, contrast that with paper. I print out 50 pages, fill everything in, mail it off. But I missed signing page 32. What happens then?
The dreaded development letter. That's the scenario. Your packet sits in a queue, maybe for weeks. Then someone reviews it, finds the mistake, and they mail you a letter.
So more waiting for the mail.
Right. The letter takes a week to get to you. You make the fix, mail it back. Another week, maybe more, for them to process the correction. That one missed signature easily costs you a month, maybe two.
Wow. So a development letter isn't just a request for info. It basically throws your application back to the end of the line.
It effectively resets the processing clock, yes. And that's a month or more of lost revenue because you can't bill until you're approved. PECOS avoids most of that entirely.
So preventing those stops and starts is huge. Plus, PECOS lets you upload documents electronically, right? And e-sign.
Correct. Secure upload, e-signatures with identity verification. No photocopying nightmares, no risk of attachments getting lost in transit, no need for wet ink signatures on everything.
And you can see what's happening after you submit.
That's the other key piece, tracking. You log into PECOS, you see the status. If the MAT needs clarification, they often send a message right through the portal. You can respond much faster, hours or days, not weeks, waiting for mail.
Okay. And you mentioned data consistency.
Yeah, that's important too. PECOS checks the information you enter against other CMS databases, especially NPPE, that's the system holding your MPI details. It makes sure names, addresses, identifiers match up. Fewer mismatches mean fewer rejections or delays.
Okay, the case for PECOS seems overwhelming for a new clinic just trying to get operational. Let's make this super practical. Say I'm that new PT clinic owner. I'm ready to tackle PECOS. What's the checklist? Step by step, what do I do and what are the traps?
Right, let's lay it out. Step one happens before you even touch PECOS. It's all about data traps.
Data hygiene, you called it.
Yeah.
What's the trap here?
The trap is inconsistency. You absolutely must have your NPI for every single therapist who will bill Medicare. They need to meet Medicare's rules, be licensed, etc. And your clinic needs its tax ID number, the TIN.
Okay, NPIs and a TI. Seems straightforward.
Here's the catch. PECOS cross-references the exact name and NPI data against the NPPES registry.
Yeah.
If your legal business name in PECOS doesn't perfectly match what's in NPPES down to the comma or LLC,
It gets kicked back just for that.
it can absolutely derail the application right at the start. Same for clinician names, middle initials, suffixes. Everything must align perfectly between what you enter in PECOS and what's registered in NPPES. It's rigid. CMS systems compare, they don't interpret.
Wow. Okay, so step one is obsessive attention to detail on names and numbers before starting. Got it. What's step two?
Step two is getting access. Using the CMS portal, setting up your login.gov credentials. You might need to set up specific user roles if you have staff helping with this.
Okay, logged in. Step three, choosing the right application. Those 855 forms, it gets confusing.
It does. But PECOS helps. Basically, each individual therapist, PT, OT, SLP, needs to submit their own CMS 855I. That's the individual enrollment.
One for each person.
Yes. Then your clinic, the business entity, enrolls as a group using the CMS 855B.
So two types of applications happening.
Correct. And then you link them using the CMS 855R, the reassignment of benefits. This tells Medicare, pay the clinic's TIN for the services this individual therapist provides. PECOS guides you through creating these relationships, which is much clearer than juggling paper forms.
Makes sense. Step four, uploading documents.
Yep. Proof of licensure, maybe your lease for the practice location, ownership documents. You upload these directly and securely into PECOS. Make sure scans are clear.
No lost faxes or mail. Okay. Step five is e-sign and submit.
E-sign and submit. You'll verify your identity electronically.
Step six, this sounds crucial, tracking and responding.
Absolutely vital. After you submit, you or someone on your team needs to monitor the PECOS portal regularly, daily even. If the MAC sends an electronic request for more info, a kind of digital development letter, you need to respond ASAP.
Because slow responses cause delays, even in PECOS.
Exactly. Failing to respond promptly is still a major reason applications get held up, even digital ones. Speed matters here.
Okay. And finally, step seven. It's not just a one-time thing.
No, enrollment is ongoing. Step 7 is maintain and revalidate. You must use PECOS to keep your information, current addresses, ownership, everything. And you have to complete revalidation when CMS tells you to, typically every 3 to 5 years.
If you miss revalidation.
Your billing privileges can be deactivated. Payment stops. It's serious.
Got it. And even with PECOS being faster, we need to set expectations. What's the realistic timeline?
Even doing everything right in PECOS, you need to plan for 60 to 90 days for approval. That's the official average CMS gives. You will not be billing Medicare the week after you submit. That buffer is critical for a new clinic's budget.
90 days is a long time without revenue from a major payer. Okay, shifting gears slightly, you mentioned PECOS helps CMS with program integrity.
Yep.
What does that mean in practice?
Right. This ties back to why PECOS exists. Since the Affordable Care Act, CMS has really stepped up screening of providers. It's risk-based. PECOS is the tool that enables that enhanced screening.
How so? What does enhanced screening look like for a legit therapy clinic?
It means CMS uses the data in PECOS to verify things more thoroughly. They cross-reference licenses, check practice locations, sometimes even doing site visits for certain risk levels. It also helps them enforce those mandatory revalidation cycles.
So it's about keeping bad actors out, preventing fraud.
Precisely. It helps protect the Medicare trust funds by making it harder for ineligible or fraudulent entities to enroll or stay enrolled. For legitimate clinics like yours, PECOS is the compliant, trackable way to demonstrate you meet the requirements and get paid reliably. That's why APTA, AOTA, ASHASHA, they all have resources helping therapists navigate this. They know it's fundamental.
So PECOS isn't just convenience, it's about compliance and staying on the right side of CMS scrutiny. Okay, but we did say paper still exists. Besides someone having absolutely no internet, are there any other scenarios where paper might, maybe, make sense? Those edge cases.
They're rare. Sometimes, if there's an incredibly complex change of ownership, maybe involving multiple sales or mergers, a clinic might prefer to assemble the entire narrative and all supporting documents offline first, like a big dossier.
Almost like building a legal case file before submitting.
Something like that. But even then, they're increasingly likely to use PECOS to upload that large pre-assembled file rather than mail it. The only time paper is really the required route is if your specific MA issues guidance telling you to use paper for a very particular situation or correction that the PECOS system, for whatever reason, can't handle properly.
So unless the MA explicitly tells you otherwise, the default is PECOS, period.
That's the bottom line. Choose PECOS.
Okay, let's summarize the main takeaway for you, the listener, getting ready to launch that clinic. PECOS is faster, safer, and the standard. It catches errors upfront, lets you track progress, and keeps you compliant. Paper is slow, risky, and should be avoided. The real bear is getting your data perfectly accurate before you start.
That initial data hygiene, the legal business name, the PIN, the MPIs, all matching NPPS exactly that's where most initial delays happen.
Right. We've hammered home that initial 60 to 90-day wait for approval. But you also stress this isn't a one-and-done process. Enrollment lasts the life of the clinic.
It absolutely does. And that leads to, I think, a really crucial final thought for you to consider.
Okay.
We talked a lot about getting that data perfect for the initial application to avoid delays. But you have to keep it perfect. Revalidation happens every few years. Information changes. You might move locations, change ownership structure, add partners.
And you have to update PECOS proactively.
You have to. So the question to ask yourself now as you're setting up is this. Knowing that future problems like failed revalidation or even payment recoupments often come from outdated information in PECOS, what internal systems and processes are you putting in place today? How would you guarantee that your PECOS record stays accurate year after year? Who is responsible for updating it? How do you track your revalidation dates?
Because forgetting to update an address seems minor, but years later during revalidation.
It could lead to deactivation. Or if there's an audit and your ownership structure in PECOS doesn't match reality, that's a major compliance failure. Thinking about that long-term data management now is key to avoiding potentially devastating financial hits down the road. It's about building sustainable compliance into your operations from day one.
That's a powerful takeaway. The administrative habits you build today protect your revenue tomorrow. Excellent point. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive.